Hey there, welcome again. It's Coffee with the Goose. I talk about things that are interesting, fascinating, and irritating. I am the Goose. Yes, so glad you joined me again. And got some interesting boxing news to cover as Manny Pacquiao gets ready to return to the ring. First, though, got to have a little coffee. That's what it's all about, right? My dog Cooper agrees, right, Cooper? Okay, he's here somewhere. Anyhow, got to have some coffee to get things going. My coffee, as you know, very strong, like my opinion. And of course, I got some cream in there to make it sweet, just like me. Okay. Now, the word is out, of course, you've known this for a while. Manny Pacquiao has already announced that he is coming back from retirement to give it another go in boxing, and good for him. He's still, well, we know this, he's one of the all-time greatest fighters, the only 8-division world champion, and the only 5-division lineal world champion. The guy's accomplishments are untouchable. And he, in my opinion, even at the age of 44, is one of the best welterweights in the world. So now it's a matter, and by the way, remember, I told you so. I was the one who said after he retired a year and a half ago, he'll be back. And sure enough, he is back. Now it's just a matter of who is he going to fight. He was talking about, I think, September or October of this year. So it's going to take him a little while to get back in shape and get real fighting form, not like we saw in that exhibition bout against DKU. That was just all for show. And that wasn't the real Manny Pacquiao. He was nowhere near in shape that we're used to seeing of him. And so he's got to get back, get the motor running again, get the old championship form cranked up. And then it's a matter of finding an opponent and negotiating the deal. Who makes how much money? Where's the fight going to be held? Et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot to deal with. So who's he going to fight? Well, there's a lot of great opponents to be had. I looked recently at the top 6 welterweights in the world. I can't remember what organization came up with this list. And of course, Pacquiao's not on the list because he's been retired. Number 1 and number 2 are the 2 guys who hold belts in the welterweight division. Number 1, Terrence Crawford from Omaha, Nebraska, and the Dallas, Texas area native, Errol Spence Jr., who, remember, Pacquiao was supposed to fight here about a year and a half ago. Not going to get into that corruption story this time around. Look back at my old shows and you'll know what I mean. Numbers 3 through 6 in this list. Your Dennis Ugas, really? Number 3? Oh, well. Number 4, Jaron Ennis. Number 5, Virgil Ortiz Jr. And number 6, Keith Thurman. And, of course, Pacquiao has been in negotiations with Conor Benn, the undefeated UK fighter, who's very, very good. So let's look down the list and see what's what. Okay. Do you think, first of all, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think really Pacquiao has what it takes to win against these top-ranked fighters in the welterweight division? I think he does. There's no reason to believe he is not capable of doing that if he has proper time to prepare for a specific opponent. That's what it's all about. Let's start with number 1, Terrence Crawford. Undefeated. 39-0 with 30 KOs. I mean, this guy's great. He's a scary fighter. He's a left-hander, the WBO World Welterweight Champion, by the way. And really, he's a double-fisted fighter. He's coming at you left-handed, orthodox, it doesn't matter. He's just incredibly skilled. And he would be a handful for Manny. But I got a couple things down on the downside for Terrence Crawford. Number 1, he's 35. Yeah, I know Manny's 44. Yeah, that's old. But Bud, as they call him, is no spring chicken. 34 years old is pretty old for a fighter. And he's only fought 4 times in the last 4 years. So he's got some rust to work off. So, that's the one thing that drives me crazy about Crawford and Spence. These guys just aren't active. Yeah, they're great undefeated fighters, but they're just not in the ring very often. So, come on, guys. Let's, show us that you still have it. And Crawford, I have no doubt he still has it, but he just isn't very busy. So he's the number 1 ranked welterweight, and of course the WBO champion. The number 2 ranked welterweight, Errol Spence Jr., is 28-0 with 22 KOs. He is another left-hander, the IBF, WBA, and WBC champion. The Truth is 33 years old, so he's getting up there in years, and his work, output, that is how many times he gets in the ring, even worse. He's only fought once in 2.5 years. And when he beat Yordenis Ugas here a year and a half ago, or whatever it was, a year ago. And he looked good, he won easily. But again, one fight at 2.5 years, that's crazy. And again, another thing I have against Spence and Crawford, I'm a fan of both of them, but they're not active. And number 2, they've been talking trash back and forth for several years now, and they still haven't fought. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. They should have fought at least twice by now. So, as good as these guys are, and they're great champions, I still believe that Pacquiao could beat either one of these guys if properly prepared. And by the way, remember, Spence has already said he's not going to fight Pacquiao because it's a lose-lose situation. Spence, and I respect him, I don't respect this stance, but Spence said, well, if I beat him, then they'll say, well, you beat up an old guy. And if I lose, well, they'll be humiliated by an old guy, so whatever. But I think he's afraid of Pacquiao. They were scheduled to fight a year and a half ago. And again, that corruption, not going to get into details, but I think most of us agree Pacquiao would have beat him. Yeah, Pacquiao would have beat him. So how about these other guys that Pacquiao could fight? Ugas, I don't think they already fought once. Thurman, Pacquiao beat him already. Jaron Ennis, undefeated, by the way, ranked number 4. He's 30-0 with 27 KOs. He's very good. And Virgil Ortiz Jr., 19-0, I think 19 KOs. He's kind of scary, but just hasn't been around long enough. So out of these top 6 fighters, you got Spence, Crawford, Conor Benn. He wasn't on the top 6, but 4 of the 6, Spence, Crawford, Ennis, and Ortiz, undefeated. So that it's not easy pickings. There's some real quality fighters. Now, Pacquiao already has 9 wins over undefeated fighters, so that's nothing to be afraid of. And as far as being left-handed, Truth and Spence and Crawford, I don't think Pacquiao has ever lost to a left-hander, and he's a lefty. So, again, I don't mean to beat it like a dead horse, but, it proved me wrong. Give me some reasons why you think I'm crazy. Pacquiao, if he's in good shape and he has time to prepare, he can beat, even at the age of 44, he can beat anybody in the world. We will see later this year. I expect to get some news on exactly who he's negotiating with, and maybe even an announcement here in the next couple of months. Pacquiao has already said, aside from A, yes, I'm going to come out of retirement, and B, I want to get back in the championship race. I want to fight a championship fighter. Well, that's just Spence and Crawford. And he also said he's not going to divulge who he's negotiating with, because that would kind of, put some bad karma, and he doesn't want to wreck the negotiations. So we'll find out here pretty soon. But have no doubt, make no mistake, Pacquiao, even at the age of 44, is capable of beating anybody in the world. And again, we'll get news here pretty soon. So tell me what you think. First of all, you think Pacquiao should come out of retirement? Do you think he'll be successful? Who do you think he should fight? And are you of the same opinion I am that pretty much everybody is still afraid of him? And with good reason. He's a very scary guy in the ring. So I think they're afraid. We'll see who's not afraid. Oh, there you go. Thanks, sweetheart. Anyhow, that's all I have for you right now. No news, no official news, although some people have already said, well, Pacquiao already agreed to a fight with Conor Benn. That means that's nothing. Nobody signed anything. That's really doesn't mean anything. So a Conor Benn fight with Pacquiao would be good, but it's not a championship fight, so it's not good enough for me. How about you? Let me know what you think. That's it for this edition of Coffee with the Goose. Got some good, lots of information to digest. Tell me who you think he should fight, who you think he could beat, who you think he can't beat. I love to get your opinion. We have a very knowledgeable crowd that watches Coffee with the Goose. All right, we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching.